Well, I think that there's a lot of fancy ways to talk about the underlying premise in Nine Inch Nails and what the rest of them do, but the easiest explanation I've heard for it is it's kind of two parts. The first is anything that anyone cares about will be copied on the internet. And the second is that what that means is that providing information on the internet is no longer a sale, it's a service. That really any provision of an information good on the internet amounts to the service of making it easier to get than it would be if you pirated it. And so, you sit down in front of a computer with a mouse in your hand, and you can click on iTunes and buy a track for 99 cents, or you can click on any one of the download services and always, without exception, buy all of those tracks in iTunes for free, or get all those tracks in iTunes for free from one of the pirate networks. And at the end of the day, what iTunes is doing is providing the service of a better experience than you would get from downloading from a pirate service. And so what we need, therefore, if you want to be in the business of selling information, is a service mentality that seeks to provide a service that has a better experience than anything you would get from the pirate networks. Now, the things that are antithetical to that experience, long, abusive user license agreements, restrictive digital rights management technology, because of course people who steal their media never encounter digital rights management technology. It's only the suckers who buy it. So when you add DRM, you build the case for taking your media without paying for it, and any number of other restrictive elements of this. So for example, in the UK now, when you go to a film premiere, they make you surrender your telephone at the front desk, and so for 3 hours, some minimum wage goon watches your phone while you watch giant robots throw buildings at each other. And you think about what's on your phone and what will be on your phone in the years to come. And that's the security risk to you of having an aggregate 800 people, 1,000 people have their phones in the possession of a bunch of people who they have no reason to trust. And these film premieres in the UK are amazing, right? They're ministers of state, doctors, lawyers, people have a duty of confidentiality, who have all kinds of stuff on their phones, just sitting there in the care of strangers for hours. It's amazing the liability when you think about it. Well, that's a good reason to pirate the new release instead of going to it in Leicester Square. By the same token, you now in the UK, and I think sometimes in the US, see warnings before you see a movie. In the British one, it's like you wouldn't steal a pie, you wouldn't punch a man. Why would you steal a DVD? And again, I didn't steal the DVD. I'm the one who paid £13 to watch it here in the cinema. Why are you showing me this ad? It's kind of like looking for your car keys under the streetlight because there's no light over there where it's dark. I mean, the pirates aren't the people in the cinema, kind of by definition, because the people in the cinema are the ones who've paid a lot of money to go out. We've got a little baby, and by the time you factor in dinner, the taxi, the babysitter, the cinema tickets, a couple of bottles of water, it can get up to about £200. It's like $300 for a night out at the movies. And that's not someone who's pirating stuff, and we can do lots of other things for $300 of a night in London. So this is the other piece of it, right? If you're in the business of supplying information goods on the internet, your first duty is to make it suck as little as possible. And of course, a lot of business has historically been about making it suck as much as possible, just up to the point where someone changes the channel. Right? You want to be right on that liminal threshold between frustration and action, because that's as much advertising as you can shove in there, and as much product placement, as much anti-copying stuff, and whatever junk you want to put in there that's kind of business model and not experience. That era is at an end. We are now in a race to the top for who can provide the best experience, not a race for the bottom for who can provide the worst experience that isn't so bad that you leave.